All right, so you've got yours nice and cut out here, Dylan. I like it. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to file these flat edges right here. And once we get those done, then we're going to go over how to use the disc sander on our outside edge. So we're getting pretty darn close, aren't we? So on this right here, since I can see this line for our demonstration, I'm going to use this piece right here. And I'm going to put it in my vise, and I'm going to keep this line, right, this edge right here, as horizontal as I possibly can. Right, so level, I guess would be the best way of putting it. When we use our file, we can use either a somewhat aggressive file, or we can use somewhat of a less aggressive file. I would definitely recommend you using a flat file and not even a half round. Just grab a regular flat file. Remember, when we do this, we wanna work this whole edge. All right, so we want to work it from here out. Now, if I take a look on his, I see next to no line here. I can just barely see it, and I can see line and some space over here. So I would start out here, getting that down, and then my last little bit, I would do that blend where I get that whole thing nice and flat. Remember, when filing, to keep this at 90 degrees. Is this a lot of material to file, or just a little bit? What do you think? Yeah, just a little bit. So we don't need to go hard or fast, right? So I'm going to start out here, nice and flat. And I don't want to be banging all around town here. I just want to get this one pretty close. I am almost already down to my line. I can now see the same amount of line the whole way. So at this point here, I am now ready to take this and do my blend. See how I do that? Since I am working this whole edge, will this wind up being perfectly flat? What would happen if I was just out here going just out here? Am I gonna get the whole thing flat, or am I gonna dig a ditch? Yeah, and I don't wanna do that, all right? I get it good, and I just work it out the whole way. Now, is it all right for us to see the line still as long as it's flat? Yeah, all right, and if you want to, I was using a little bit of an aggressive file. We can now go to a smoother file, and we can do our last little bit with this. I'll tell you what, I don't feel anything in there. That feels like incredibly smooth. All right, feels like we went over like a 300 grit almost. When we do this side over here, it's gonna be just a little bit more tricky because we don't see our line anymore on this one because it's back here. So when we file this, we would periodically, we would do a little bit, and then we'd have to check against our line. And once we get it really close to our line, we do our final little blend. Tell you what, that feels fantastic. Go ahead and feel that real quick. Does that feel incredibly smooth? Yeah. So this feels really nice. If we take a look, we took it right to our line. Looks really good. Kind of like the way that looks. So Dylan, what we're going to have you do is we're going to have you do the other side over here. Next time we cut into that video, I see that you left your entire line on here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to just sand it. It's going to make very quick work. So one thing I wanted to tell you guys is remember, when we do cut this out over here, is it better to leave more line or less line, you think? More line, right? Because we can always take it off, but we can't put it back on. So don't worry about cutting super close to the line. All right, just leave the line and some. Leave the line and the blades width. Don't power through. All right, if you see yourself getting into a pickle, just stop. If you can't correct it, raise your hand, call me over, all right, and we'll get you set back up on a new pathway. All right, but don't power through. You'll do more harm than good. All right, so Dylan, you've gotten your successfully filed down. Feels mighty fine. Can we agree that the project looks a little bit rough right now cut-wise? Yeah, because it's roughly cut out, right? So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to learn how to disc sand it nice and evenly from here to here. Now, can we agree that your line was a nice, smooth transition from one end to the other? All right, and we're going to get back to that, which is why it was super important to leave your line. Now, when we use the disc sander over here, this particular disc sander spins in a clockwise rotation. So it spins going this way here. So when we use this, we want to use it from here to here because it will force the wood into the table. What do you think would happen if we used it over here? What do you think? It's going to lift it up, yeah. Right? We're going to be fighting it. So we don't ever use it over here. We're going to use this one here and this side over here. Now, if it spun that way, which side of the table would we use? How about if it spun in this direction? Then we'd use that side, correct. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to get this bad boy fired on here. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to clean it off. So it's going to be a little bit noisy for the video, but we're going to press the start button. We're going to give it about 5 seconds to warm up. Take our cleaner. You don't have to press hard. Now, do you think this machine takes off a lot of material pretty fast? Oh yeah. So watch, when we do this, we're going to take our time and we're going to go ever so slowly. Look, I'm not even pressing up against it. I'm skimming it. And you got to keep it moving. Me personally, I like to work from the center to one side. Now we see a little bit of material there. I can't stress how important it is to not press hard. If you press hard, you're going to wind up putting a big old gouge in. Now, if we look at this, it looks like we got this bad boy right down to the line. Alright? And we're just going to take our finger and we're going to go like this. I want you to do the same thing. I want you to tell me, do you feel any like bumps or flat spots when you do that? You do feel it through, don't you? Looks like maybe right here. Oh yeah, I see one there. And we got another one over here. So now what we're going to do to blend this in is we're just going to take this and we're going to ever so slightly keep it moving at the same speed right on down through there. Oh my goodness. Go ahead and feel that. Is that smooth from one end right to the other? It sure is. And even when I take it like this, I don't feel any like flat spots or anything like that. It just goes nice and smooth. You want to try this side over here? Alright. So it's cleaning up now. We're going to see if it fires up for you. Okay, guys. And nice and slow. Remember, so hang on. You want to focus. You don't want to hit the point. You want to be like this. Right? See how fast you're taking it off? Easy. Easy. Right? Same thing again. You almost just want to rotate through like this. You don't even necessarily want to move towards the end of the blade. You just kind of want to almost like pivot right here, Jeff. A little bit more on that. So how about we try a little bit from here to there now? Now you're going to go like this kind of. Over here a little bit, you know. getting there, huh? All right, a little bit more. All right. Remember, don't focus too much out here. Focus. If we start cutting with this end out here, we're going to get ourselves into a pickle. So focus like in here. See that? See how we're cutting right there? Now I move it down here. Beautiful. Let's take a look, see what it feels like. Alright, getting there. Do we see a little bit of line still right here? So we can take a little bit more off from there, right? That will do the transition the whole way. Look, buddy. Which side did you do? This one? Oh, this one? Alright, so we got a little bit. Remember when we go to do our transition, nice and easy. Boy, just one little spot left right there. And we're going to go super easy on it. Go ahead and feel that bad boy right there. Tell you what, that feels amazing right there. That's beauty. So guess what? Is your project at its final shape right now? Yeah, it is. All right, was that pretty fast to do? Super fast. So now what you're going to be working on is you're going to be working on carefully sanding this down with some 120 or 150. All right. Don't worry about too much about in here. Just a little bit in here. Do not really sand these too much. Maybe just a little bit on these. All right. We're going to get it nice and smooth, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go over how to route our outside. Now the other thing that you are going to do today is you're going to pick your prettiest side, and on the bottom side we're going to stamp and burn your name in. Okay. But I'll tell you what, man, you did a nice job. Is it your first time using this machine? Does it take a lot of material off pretty fast? Is it easy to use? But is it easy to mess up on anything too? Yeah, you better believe it. All right, nice job. You can go ahead and sand that up. Nice job today.